The purpose of this video is to present a view of what life will be like in a world with a universal basic income, or UBI. This video and the others in this YouTube channel are based on the technological inheritance argument for universal basic income. That argument shows us that a UBI is not a handout or charity at all. It is a birthright of every citizen. That birthright comes from our common inherited ownership of the knowledge, technology, and infrastructure that society has accumulated over centuries. The value-creating power of that societal heritage is more than sufficient to pay for our UBI. If you have not yet seen the video introducing the technological inheritance argument, a pointer to it is pinned above the comments section of this video. Its title is shown below. So, how will a universal basic income change our world? In its early stages, a UBI will only provide for necessities. However, over time, advances in technology will cause the productivity of our societal heritage to steadily improve, and each person's claim to a share of that value will increase proportionally. Those productivity increases will also mean that ever fewer of us will be needed in the paid workforce. Eventually, the power of our societal heritage and our income from it will be high enough that most of us will not seek conventional employment and probably couldn't find it if we tried. So, how will these changes affect society? For essentially all of human history, we have had to work to survive, and we have made a virtue of that necessity. What we did to make a living has defined our position in society, and many of us have learned to base our self-esteem and our value to society on the paid work that we do. With a universal basic income, we will, after all of these thousands of years, at last have the freedom to step off that treadmill of paid work. At that point, neither your financial well-being nor your self-esteem need be determined by your production of goods and services. Many will say it's about time. After all, how many people stocking store shelves or serving fast food aspired to those jobs when they were children, dreaming of what they would do when they grew up? For the first time in human history, we can live a life free from drudgery and without having to rely for our income on a job that we would rather not do. So, what about the fear that a basic income would cause people to quit their jobs and sit around doing nothing? This common worry is unjustified for several reasons. Number one, a UBI, at least in its initial years, would offer only a basic income. That would not be enough to provide the standard of living that the vast majority of people desire. A basic income would not be enough to cause someone to give up a worthwhile job. Number two, a basic income will not be lost if a person is employed. This fundamental difference from most welfare programs actually encourages people to seek work to supplement the UBI. Number three, UBI pilot programs have shown that few people quit work when they receive it, and those who did quit typically did so to concentrate on childcare. And last but not least, a basic income is an inheritance, a birthright, and is not contingent on how we use it. It is really none of society's business how we spend our share, as long as we don't harm others or break any laws. We should also acknowledge that for centuries, most societies have had a wealthy upper class. Members of that class had no need, and seldom the desire, to engage in the type of work that occupied the rest of us. And yet, people never worried about what the wealthy would do with their time. We were never concerned that they would sit around and do nothing. From that viewpoint, why should we be concerned if a few recipients of a basic income decide they will do nothing? So what will we do in this brave new world? I believe that individuals of unusual talent and motivation will always have a role in guiding our economy and society. For those people, the UBI will simply supplement their work income. Those with an interest in fields such as science, engineering, medicine, etc., should find in an automated world that their work is accelerated. The resulting explosion in knowledge and technology will benefit all of society. Others with an interest in the arts will have the freedom to pursue their passions without having to worry about earning a living. The results should enrich us all. The sports lovers among us will all share that same freedom. The UBI can provide enough economic freedom to enable people to pursue further education and training so that they can qualify for one of the better jobs that may still remain. It can also provide the financial cushion that a person needs to consider starting their own business. The UBI also provides more resources to the home where children do most of their learning, so childhood educational results should improve. In a post-jobs world, our challenge will not be to teach the next generation specific job-related skills, but to motivate them to want to do something that has a positive effect on society, regardless of subject area. If we can succeed in doing that, then those individuals will become self-motivated seekers of the knowledge and skills needed for reaching their goals. Of course, it is fair to ask how we will motivate young people to pursue and finish their education if they know they will receive a UBI regardless. Personally, I am optimistic that that should not be a significant problem. However, society can always decide to offer supplements to the UBI to encourage the achievement of certain goals and to encourage a wide range of beneficial activities. The existence of a universal basic income can also enable the true flowering of volunteer work and community service. People will have the time and means to participate in youth activity, community governance, elder care, and so on. I once read the story of a young woman who found great joy and satisfaction in caring for the animals in a local shelter. Unfortunately, the job paid so little she could not afford to continue. In a world with a UBI, that kind of service and joy would be possible. How many times have young children told their parents what they wanted to do when they are older, only to be told that they would starve to death if they did that? In a world with a UBI, our choices will no longer be limited to activities that we currently call gainful employment. If you have a family or want to start one, you will be free to spend as much time with them as you wish. If parents are at home with their children, then gang membership and juvenile misbehavior should decline significantly. If you have a passion that you could not previously indulge, you are now free to follow your heart. Maybe what you want to do is travel the world, or play golf 7 days a week, or ride every roller coaster in the country. Whatever your choice, a UBI will provide increased freedom to pursue it. In addition, the guaranteed income will give people the power to say no. No to undesirable or demeaning jobs that you would only accept because you are in desperate need of money. No to undesirable relationships that would only exist because of financial dependence. While we would hope that all people choose to engage in activities that society considers useful, their eligibility to receive a basic income does not depend on it. Some may wish to do little more than play video games, watch TV, or spend time in bars. While society can help and encourage them to aim higher, perhaps by offering supplements to the UBI, ultimately, each person has the right to engage in any legal activity. In addition to improving the lives of individuals, the universal basic income will have several positive effects on local communities and entire nations. When poverty is eliminated, most people will no longer experience the financial desperation that causes some to engage in criminal activities. In addition, the UBI would serve as a statement that all ethnic groups are equal in their right to a basic income. This would go a long way toward easing racial tensions. Also, a UBI just might reduce social and political chaos. For over 30 years, we in the U.S. have been promised that a supply-side, trickle-down economy will benefit everyone. But the reality has been fewer worthwhile jobs and increasing income and wealth inequality. A UBI will give all recipients a stake in our economy and provide a much more even and fair distribution of GDP. This will diffuse much of the resentment caused by the current levels of unjustifiable income and wealth inequality. Otherwise, current economic trends will continue while the people take increasingly desperate measures to see that their needs are met. Those measures could easily result in the replacement of capitalism or democracy itself with a system that benefits no one. A UBI will very likely increase our GDP. Economists have long recognized that the best way to stimulate an economy is to give the stimulus money to the poorest members of society. The poor have so many needs that they will spend the money immediately. The wealthy are likely to just add the money to their savings. A UBI is just such a stimulus. A UBI will also be a valuable tool during the kind of economic disruption caused by the recent COVID pandemic. In response to the pandemic, Congress voted huge amounts of stimulus to support people who had no savings and whose income had suddenly disappeared. In addition, various agencies struggled to get the allocated money to the intended recipients. If a UBI had already existed, there would have been little need for such desperate measures. In summary, I am optimistic that we will use the freedom that a UBI provides to reach greater heights as a society. At the end of this century, I believe we will look back at today's workaday world and see just how confining it was. And we will find it curious that people once believed that their personal identity and value to society depended on doing work that they often disliked and did not choose, simply because they had no other way to receive money. Once again, I thank you for your attention to this important topic. Please consider leaving a comment. I read them all. Also, please consider subscribing to this channel and pressing the like button so that this topic will be recommended to a wide audience.